reminds us today, he says, now the Lord is my shepherd. Whatever I need, David is reminding us that God is the supplier of all of my needs. Is there any help up in here today? Is there anybody here know that God is still in the meeting business? Whatever you need, God don't have to send off for it, but God already has everything you need. Watch this. Let me give you these 3 principles tucked in this text, and I'm in my seat. Watch this. There are 3 things here in line number 4. Scroll down to line number 4. Listen to what the psalmist says. Listen to what David said. He says, even though I walk through the darkest valley. How to make it through? Even though I walk through the darkest valley. And I don't know again who perhaps is in here today that's in a dark valley. But watch this, some principles in this word that's going to help you get through your dark valley. The dark valley of more month than you got money. Dark valley, when you go to the doctor tells you that it's cancerous and it's malignant. Dark valley, when the one you love and said they loved you at the altar, but then all of a sudden they told you love don't live here no more. Dark. I wish I had help in here valley. I'm talking about you raise your children up in church, but they get old enough they want to do their own thing. I'm talking about a dark. I wish I had help in here. A dark valley. How do you make it through? Listen to what he says in the A clause. Watch this. He says, when you find yourself gilt edge in life's darkest valley. First principle, if you're keeping notes, is to help you. Watch this. The first thing he says, if you're going to make it through, he says, number 1, there must be continuation. I learned it from the word of God, because watch this. He says, even though I walk. In other words, he says, I'm in my darkest valley, but I ain't gonna park. I'm in my darkest valley, but I'm not gonna stay here. He says there must be continuation. He says, while I'm in my darkest valley, I'm gonna keep walking. Do I have any help up in here today? And I want to tell somebody in here who's in a dark season in your life, the Lord sent me here on my way to heaven to tell you today, Gilt Edge, keep walking. I know it's dark, but keep walking. You may have to walk with tears in your eyes, but keep walking. You may be discouraged, but keep walking. Don't park in your valley. Keep walking. I thought I would remind you of this simple truth I learned from the word, because there are some people, when they find themselves in a dark valley, they want to go in their house, shut their door, close their blinds, sit in a dark room all by themselves, have a pity party for themselves and not invite nobody. But the devil is a lie up in here. Remember, you are a child of God. You got royal blood flowing through your veins, and all you got to do is just keep on walking. And I promise you, if you walk, the Lord said, I'm not going to let you walk all by yourself. I wish I had some help in here. That's why I like the songwriter said, walk with me, Lord. Walk with me. Is there anybody here today made up in your mind you're going to keep on walking? You gotta keep walking. Can I tell you why you gotta keep walking? Because I can hear David saying in Psalm 30:5, he said, weeping might endure for the night. He said, but if you keep walking, morning's gonna come. And when morning comes, it's the dawning of a new day. When morning comes, he said, joy comes in the morning. But I promise you, you just got to keep. There must be continuation. There must be continuation. There must be continuation. There must be continuation. Let me see if I can tell you like this. I remember reading a story about a young boy, 16 years old. He had just gotten his driver's license. He was real excited about having his driver's license, and his father was getting ready to go to Home Depot on the other side of town, and he was so excited. Just got his license. He knew his dad was going to Home Depot. He says, Dad, can I go with you? Dad said, sure, son, you can go with me. He said, well, Daddy, you know, I'm excited, just got my license. He said, can I drive? He said, all right, son, you can drive. The dad and the son got in the car. They were on their way. They got on the expressway going to Home Depot on the other side of town. And while they were on their way to Home Depot, something very interesting happened. When the boy, his son, looked ahead, he seen the dark clouds. He kept driving. It seemed like the more he drove, the darker the clouds were. So all of a sudden, the young boy looked up with his daddy and said, Daddy, listen, it's real dark ahead. Do you think we need to get off at the next exit? Turn around and go back home. Dad looked at his son and said, no, son, keep driving. Now all of a sudden, not only was it dark clouds, but now the rain had begun to fall. It began to rain so hard that there were some cars that had pulled over on the side of the road. The boy now has his windshield wipers going as fast as they can. He looked over at his daddy and said, Daddy, do you think we need to pull over like the other cars? The daddy looked at his son and says, son, can you see the tail lights of the car in front of you? White lines on the road. He says, yeah, Daddy, I can barely, but I can see. He said, you can see him? Say, yeah, Daddy, barely, but I can see. He said, well, keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And so he kept going. Now all of a sudden, not only was it raining hard, but the lightning was flashing. Not only was the lightning flashing, but now the thunder was rolling. He said, Daddy, it's not only raining, but it's thundering and lightning. Do you really think now that we need to pull over? It's other cars over on the side of the road. You think we ought to pull over? He said, son, can you still see? He says, yes, Daddy, badly, but I can see. He said, well, keep going. All right. Yeah. So keep going, son, keep going, keep going. Now, all of a sudden, it's not raining as hard. All right. The lightning stopped flashing. Thunder, stop rolling. Yeah. Now all of a sudden, blue skies are ahead. Yeah. Now, no need to have his wipers on. Sunny blue skies. All of a sudden, his daddy says, pull over. Boy pulled over, shaking his head, wondering, why would his daddy have him to pull over now? Seemed to the boy like he should have had him to pull over when he was in the storm. Daddy told him, pull over. So get out of the car, son. Meet me back at the trunk. Got out. Father, son, both back the trunk. He says, look back there. Boy was looking back. He said, you remember all those cars that had pulled over on the side of the road